for some bigger trades, which it's okay, guys. Like this is actually a great example, but you see 6 lots, 43, 80 $80, 7, 9. This is great. First 5-figure week. And that's how it starts. And, you know, you scale it to there from there. And today we'll be going over Bookmap. Once you are on,
okay, you could start now, Dimitri. Everyone's on.
great. Okay, let me just pull up Bookmap. What is going on, guys? Also, compliance, can you please upload that webinar?
Yes.
Bookmap today. What's that? Let me just fix stuff in the background. Some guys don't mind. You don't mind, yeah?
Hey, Shannon, can you let everyone know in the advance that the class, I'm on my phone, so if you could let everyone know in the advance class that there's, that the class started?
No problem. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Thanks,
All right.
Shannon.
Okay, no problem. You're welcome.
Okay.
Dimitri, are you opening up Bookmap?
Yes, I am. Okay. Oh, it says I'm unable to share my video, but whatever. Okay, perfect. Money's loading. Guys, I would really appreciate it if you guys would also like actually be active and download Bookmap. Like a lot of people are like want to learn Bookmap, but they don't even have the platform. It's like, there's no point of me teaching Bookmap if you don't have the means to download the platform and actually go and look how to set it up. You know what I mean?
Dimitri, I downloaded but it's not compatible with TradingView. So what broker do you use? Ninja?
I use DX feed.
Okay. DX, okay.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So great. I'm gonna go over Bookmap now. For those of you that don't know, Bookmap is an amazing tool. It's one of the tools that I use to kind of look at market orders and see where the institutional order flow is at. And you could see that, which is on the right-hand side. And there's a lot of other things that, pardon me, have to get on real quick. There's a lot of other things that you'll be able to see on the platform. So let's just go over the basics. Let's start small. All right, so one, we see file, right? You have create a new workspace, open a workspace, save a workspace, export, feed, export orders, alerts, etc. Refresh book, etc. Then you have here the plus sign and then the DX feed that you can open up, okay? Now, this is the color settings. You can change the colors of buyers. You can change it to red if you want. Have green, you can change that. All of this is like the best bid line, ask line. You can change all of those colors, which is great. Okay. Now you can do a configuration, and you can show the trade panel. This is other stuff that you really don't need, but you could just move it around, show the zoom button, and that'll show you how to like zoom in and whatnot. And then zoom out. Enable tips button. So you could do that. Hide size background. You can do that. Aggregate last trade.
Hey D, I can't see. I see your Bookmap screen, but I don't see your full screen.
Oh really? Well, it's on it. Does anybody else have that problem or?
Yeah, I'm sure you're going through menus. Me personally, I can't see. I just see your Bookmap. I don't see the actual menus that you're going through.
Settings.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. Thanks.
Time zones. You can change it to UTC. That's fine. And there is, let's see, time zones. Symbols are great. Okay, so you see the E-mini, the micro, the 10-year, the U.S. Treasury, the soybeans, the Swiss franc. You see the VIX futures, the euro dollar, the British pound, the gold futures, the DAX, the E-mini crude oil, the FTSE 100 indexes, the COP 40 indexes. You can see all of that. And with these month codes, right? These month codes show the symbol. So month, the code is January F, February G, March H, April J, May K, and then you see so on and so forth. So these are pretty much the months because this is future contracts. So you can see you want to match the month, whatever it is. So the month and the year, and it depends on what feed you're on. So let's say I'm on gold, right? I don't know why gold is on here. Sorry, GC. right? GGC. So the code for DX feed is the feed that I use. It's going to be GC. These feeds are feeds that you can connect to get the data. So, you know, that NAS 100, US 30, all this data is extracted from somewhere and it comes from somewhere. Okay. Now, now, 6J, I'm sorry, not 6J, GC has slash GC, which is the abbreviation, the month, which is, the month for gold is, I believe it is Z. That's the contract that we're in because it's gold futures. So we're in the third month contract for that, which is Z. So GCZ, okay, 21 XCEC. That's how you do it, okay? Now we go here and we minimize this bad boy. We can see that contract is the same. GCZ 21, so GC for the gold, Z for the month of December, 21 is 2021, and that's a December contract. So right now we're looking at the December contract, okay? And then you can go ahead and add different pairs to these. You can go and pull up different assets on here. I don't really use currencies, but you could use currencies. Euro dollar is 6E. I believe 6E in the month is D. So let's see. Let's see. 6E. D. E1. And then you see the contract for Euro. See Euro pulled up. I mean, it's still loading now. U.S. Treasury bonds, ZB. You can see that contract too, which is ZB, ZBZ, 21, and then you can go ahead and look at the bonds. You can see the contract for bonds. If you want to pull up Euro dollar futures, you want to pull up British pound. Or oh, damn, they don't even have the DAX. That's garbage. Crude oil. Crude oil futures. Okay. Well, you could pull up CL slash CLZ 21, and then you got crude oil futures popping up, loaded. You want to put British pound or Japanese yen. Look, VIX. The VIX is there. I don't even know. Can we trade the VIX on MetaTrader?
Volatility, right?
You want to pull up your screen, Adriana?
No, no, I'm good. I'm just asking, VIX is the volatility?
Dimitri, can you hear her?
I can't hear her. Say that again?
The VIX is the volatility?
Yeah, the volatility index. That is correct. I'm just trying to see if it's in MetaTrader. Give me 1 second. MetaTrader You guys have the VIX in your market?
I have not seen it on my market before, on any of my brokers.
Yeah, me too.
Me neither.
You guys haven't seen VIX. I see Visa. That's weird. Why no VIX? Let me ask really quickly. The VIX. You can make a lot of money off of VIX.
So far, I see it on Webull, and I have that, but the regular brokers that that we're using, I haven't seen it. I'm looking at the top 10 brokers that have it.
Let me ask Eric real quick. Oh, they say Hugo's way.
Interesting. I'm looking right now.
I don't see it on Hugo's way.
No, I also have account in Lucas Way, and there is no fix there, unless they put another symbol. But VIX is not in Lucas Way.
Osprey SFX has it.
Are they a regulated broker, or you have to be a U.S. citizen, or what?
You can be a U.S. citizen.
What is it called?
OSPREY FX.
Sorry, I'm just gonna check. OS?
Yes, PREY.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Osprey.
Yes.
Oh, they have it. Do you trade it? Do you trade the VIX?
No. I'll be looking at it now though.
How did you know they had it?
Yeah, I see it on mine.
I have an account with them, and it's I just never looked at it.
Oh, what is it? What do they put it under? Indexes?
Yeah. Hold on, let me go to it.
You can't trade it though.
I never even thought about it.
Can you trade it?
No, you can't trade it.
That's crazy.
I have Osprey FX and I can't trade it. I have it on my MT4 now.
Wow, you can't trade it? What is it listed under? Cryptos, exotics, what is it listed under?
Give me a sec. It is listed under. Oh, I can't even.
Eagle FX.
Yeah, it's it's under index.
Leverage is 1 to 100. That's trash.
Yeah, index.
That's what Osprey is under.
That's what VIX is under. Yeah, under Osprey. It's under the index.
I don't even see it under there. I'm looking at it now.
VIX.
VIX. Maybe because I'm looking at. I just went to go see if they had it and looked up there if there was a demo. I don't see it. I don't have a broker with that account. But you can't trade it?
Nope.
That's garbage. Somebody said Eagle FX has it. Let's see. I'm gonna check if Eagle FX has it.
We can't see your screen.
No, I'm just looking right now. Yeah, that's crazy that you can't trade it. Why is it that you can't trade it? That's so weird.
Derek said Eagle doesn't have it.
Yeah, Eagle does not have it. I'm gonna make that everyone's homework for today.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Guys, don't forget to mute your mics. There's somebody's TV playing in the background.
Dimitri, I'm trying to upload the gold on my Bookmap and says that instrument is not found. Do you know why?
You said you try to open yourself with Bookmap?
No, I'm trying to upload the gold GCZ21 on my Bookmap and says that it's not found. Do I have to?
Because you don't have the DX feed.
So what should I do to have the DEX feed? Do I have to subscribe?
Yes, you have to get the DX feed. DX feed.
Through Bookmap, or is it a different platform website that I have to subscribe?
No, you just go to dxfeed.com and you'll be able to get it there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. And then I link that out. Okay, thank you.
D, I got a question.
What's up?
Hey, is there a specific reason why you chose the month of December when you are opening these versus the month that we are in October?
As future contracts count for future.
Okay.
Let's see where we can find VIX. Man, trading VIX was really great. They probably took it off because it was like such a crazy thing. Let's see. All right, well, there's that, which kind of sucks. Let me look for. Okay, so DAX is not there, Pound is not there. You see VIX. You guys trade E-mini NASDAQ, right? Or do you guys trade micro E?
I never trade micros.
You trade E-mini probably. For the S&P, you guys trade S&P 500?
Yes.
Like, yeah, I didn't think anybody trade them soybean futures. So E-mini S&P. Let's see. E-mini S&P, that's ES. D 21. Swiss franc. Okay, and then NAS 100, which is, and I'm just gonna have all these open. NQ. NQ. Z 21. This is the chart for oil. This is the chart ZB. I forgot which one this was for. Which one did I say this was for? This is gold. This is euro. This is ZB. U.S. Treasury bonds. U.S. Treasury bonds. Why does U.S. Treasury bonds look like trash? It looks like pure trash. Like it is like not moving whatsoever. U.S. Treasury bonds looks trash right now. Let me see if I can pull it up on. Here, 10-year note. U.S. Treasury. 10-year. I believe it's U.S. UI. Am I bugging? Let me see. USTY. USTY. U.S. Treasury bonds. Oh, so this is bonds futures. That's why. U.S. Treasury. I need to be looking at the 10-year note. So the T note. So the T note. Let's go to that T note. T note. T note. T note. Okay. So right here, the T note is ZN. Okay, ZN, Z, ZNZ. Okay. No. Government bond. Did not show the T note? Anybody know the abbreviation for it? Keeps coming up bond yield. Maybe it's bond yield. I don't know why it's correctly. I wonder what the abbreviation is on here. Maybe I can get it. Maybe I can get the futures. ZN. Oh, 10-year note. There it is. Awesome. So we see there the 10-year note. Okay. Everybody. Does everybody have a book map at all?
I have it, but I don't know how to use. I have the free version.
Okay.
And I have,
How many people have downloaded a book map?
Can you go over how to get it, please?
I have it.
Yeah, I have it as well.
Okay, great. The 10-year notes treasury yield. Let me just make sure this is futures, right? Futures. Right. Okay. And this is good. The reason why I say the reason why I brought up the treasury notes, in fact, the reason why I brought that up in the first place is because gold and the treasury note have a negative relationship, okay, with interest rates. So if you look at, if you see, treasury notes going up, you'll sometimes see gold going down, or if you see gold going down, you'll see treasury notes going up. So you could actually look at the 10-year note, right? Once this loads up, you'll probably get a better perspective, but you could look at the 10-year note, and then you can go ahead and look at gold, and then you can see that they have a negative correlation. When one goes up, one goes down, okay? And when one goes down, one goes up. So that's awesome. You could also look at DXY as another pair too, as well, to, inverse and correlating pairs that you guys want to look at. This is NAS 100. I have no idea why it's like this. Let me just put a configuration. Map, volume. volume dots, candlesticks. No wonder candlesticks were on it. Volume bars. Follow. Volume dots, 3D dots. There we go. Total. Boom. There is NAS 100. In a clear matter, we can see it all. Okay. Soybeans, we got everything. So we got pretty much everything up here. I'm sure there's more symbols. You can see the CME group site for more symbols. So you can go look at all of the symbols here if you want to trade any of soybeans. And of course, you have to look at a broker that offers it. But 10-year interest rate swap futures, 10-year treasury notes. I know there's a 10-year yield here somewhere, but you can see it all. You can see US 30. You can see bonds. You guys can trade all of this. It's not just Forex. Look at all of these from A to Z. It's hundreds of different things that you could literally trade. You could trade Goldman Sachs, everything. You could literally trade everything here. I don't even know how far the list goes, but it goes very far. And there's tons of different symbols for you to literally trade. Gasoline, look, you saw crude oil right there. And you can trade it all. So it's there. Don't think that there's not anything you can trade on Bookmap. You can trade everything. You can even trade FX. Now that's one. So that's one great thing about Bookmap is it has all these different symbols that you can trade and allows you to have a little bit more room to see assets that you kind of really don't see on, like you can see them on TradingView, but not in the perspective that you really want to. And that's what I love about Bookmap. It has that overall general perspective that you can see everything. So we got oil, GBP. I'm sorry, we got gold, GBP, oil, ES Mini, the NASDAQ, and then we got the bonds or the yields, okay? Now, these are how you look at the assets. Notice they're not like XAU because they're future contracts, their abbreviations for them are a lot different. So remember, you wanna put the month and the year. So whatever month it is directly from now, you put that 3 months ahead from now. So the contract will probably just expire after December, and then we'll go on to the next, so on and so forth. And it'll be January, February, March. The next contract will be March. So March will be here, H. It'll be GCH 2022. Okay? Can't believe how fast time is going. Oh my God. It's literally unbelievable how fast time is moving.
Hey Dimitri, what package of Bookmap do you recommend us to
I personally got the highest package.
And that's the Digital Plus, Global Plus?
Yes, sir. The Digital Plus.
Digital Plus, okay, cool.
And so, boom. So we got that out the way. Okay, great. So here it is. Here's how Bookmap works, right? Bookmap is an innovative market depth analysis that delivers consolidated visuals, past and. So let me read that again. Bookmap is an innovative market depth of analyst software that delivers consolidation visualization of past and present order book and order flow using an adjustable grayscale heat map. Bookmap keeps the record of the order book activity over time and displays it to traders together with current depth of market. Okay? The visualization of the evolving order book and order flow activity enhances traders' ability to analyze market dynamics and patterns, as well as assessing the perpetual strength and weakness of different levels. Okay? Everybody following so far?
Yes.
Got it.
Yes, sir.
Great, awesome. Volume dots, okay, we can see here, right? Historical, book, and price action. Okay, so here you have current time. Obviously, these are things that we see. Current time, etc. Zoom in, zoom out feature. You can see all of that, right? Zoom in. Now, what you're looking at here is on this whole entire thing. What you're looking at here is what's called the heat map. Okay, so how many people know what a heat map is?
Yes.
Somebody tell me what they know of a heat map is.
The heat map describes the pressure of the currency. Whether
Right.
it's,
But I mean a heat map in general. Like you guys have heard of a heat map, right?
yeah, it just shows which way the currencies are moving.
Right. But I'm just saying the exact, like not this definition, I apologize, Shannon. The exact definition of a heat map. So I'm gonna read the
That
definition.
shows the intensity of something, whatever you're looking at.
Right. So it says here, a heat map is a data visualization technique that shows the magnitude of a phenomenon as a color in 2 dimensions. The variation in color may be a hue or an intensity, giving obvious visual cues to the reader about how the phenomenon is clustered or varies over space. So it gives a graphical representation of data that uses a system of color and code to represent different values. So heat maps can be used to show where users have clicked on the page, how far they have scrolled down, or the results of eye tracking tests. You know, you can see even with Call of Duty, right? When they use like a heat map, they'll say, put on a heat map. And that goggles can show you where someone is behind a wall, right? Like you wouldn't be able to see that with the goggles off. You wouldn't be able to see that person behind the wall, but you can see them. Now here is the same thing, right? As Shannon and everyone else was saying, right? You get the visualization, a graphical representation of behind the candlesticks. So when we go here, right, we can just see the candlesticks. But when we go into here, we could see behind the candlesticks. That makes sense. We could see how many orders are being placed, and we could see the liquidity zones of where they're being placed. We could also see the pending orders. We could see, you know, when orders are being moved. We could see everything behind it. It's almost like the matrix for trading view, right? Imagine being able to see how many buyers and sellers. Imagine being able to see every liquidity zone by itself without actually drawing, you know, support and supply and demand. Imagine being able to see that. Okay, so that's what Bookmap does for us. Okay, now we see here, once we go here, right, I'll open this up a little bit higher. We can see volume dots with aggressor classification, best bid and axe lines, current, right? You see the current price, configurable columns showing volume profile quotes and data, volume bars with aggressor classification. Okay. Following hardware and software specifications are the minimal requirements for installing using Bookmap. Okay, so these is what you need. Windows Vista 7, 8, 9, 10, monitor with a resolution of 1280, 9060. These are everything that you have with the requirements, okay? The Bookmap main window is where you subscribe or list the instruments to view on Bookmap, okay? So obviously we went over that, okay? Cross instruments, perfect. The screenshot below provides the main elements of Bookmap charts and columns. The sections below provide more details on each element and additional features. Okay? So 3, 6, 4, 5, 7, 1, 2, 11, 9, 10, 6, 3, 8. Right? We can see all of that. Okay. The first one, where it says 1, does it say 1? Is the bid and ask lines. 2, which is here, this is this line here, last executed trade. 3 is current time, right? Because we see that's where the time is. 4 is traded volume dots. Okay, this is the volume dots. These volume dots are not candlesticks, they're volume dots. So when we go here and look at the market, you could see the volume dots, right? The bigger the volume dot, the bigger that there was a buyer or seller in this zone, okay? And I personally like these better than candlesticks, but you can go ahead and you can look at them, right? You can throw in candlesticks, right? You can go ahead and throw in candlesticks, I don't know why. Oh, I'm sorry, that's cumulative. You can throw in candlesticks, okay? See how the candlesticks look? I personally don't like the candlesticks, but you could throw them on. Okay, then they have volume bars. okay? You could do gradient, you could do total volume, you could do volume delta, you could do solid. I personally like to do solid. When you do volume dots, you could do 2D, which is not really great. You could do 3D, or you could do total volume or volume delta, right? I personally like to do 3D and volume delta, just because the sole fact that this is great, like it does break up and tell you how many buyers or sellers more are in here, and that's awesome, but it also can be pretty confusing. So that's one way, that's why I look at volume dots the way that I do. The bigger the volume dot expands, the more buyers and sellers are in this area, okay? Now, 5, historical order book heat map, right? This is the historical book, right, that you're looking at. Number 6, current order book heat map. So this is where the current price is. This is where historical price is. 7, volume. 9 is VWAP, which is volume profile. Where is 9? I don't even see 9 here. Volume profile. And 10, upper limit of exchange transmission, bottom limit of exchange transmission. So this is 10. This is where price where exchange, back and forth. The Bookmap chart displays the bid and ask lines on top of the gray shade heat map of the instrument's order book. In contrast to the other order book application, which only displays latest instance of order book, Bookmap records every instance of the order book in color code. It's based on its relative size. This forms a heat map of the order book, which allows traders to observe the evolution of the market depth over time and detect different patterns that may help evaluating short-term price action. Does that make sense to everybody? If it doesn't, please press 1. It does, plus 2. Okay. So I'm going to read that again. Bookmap records every instance of the order book and color code it based on its relative size. Okay? Size of the contract. This forms a heat map on the order book, which allows traders to observe the evolution. So we can see that they color code red, orange, they color code all these different things, okay? Interpretation, that's going to interpret it. Every level displays a grayscale based on the relative size of pending orders resting at that level, okay? So we see the grayscale. The grayscale may not be even here. It may be on here, right? I mean, there is color code, so you could do a color code. It's whatever chart looks better for you. If you want to do the grayscale, you could do the grayscale, but this is what they mean. Like every chart displays a grayscale. So every price level displays a grayscale on the relative size of the pending order. That level. Okay, every level displays a grayscale. Okay. Grayscale. The grayscale ranges between complete black to complete white. Okay, I believe that's this one. Complete black to complete white. So this is the one they're talking about. The larger the relative size of the pending orders, the wider the grayscale of that price level. Wider, right? The larger the relative size of the pending orders, the wider the grayscale of that price level. So this is a pending order. That's why it's getting so white, because this size of the contract, which is 92, is large, right? 86 lots. This is a big contract. That's why it's white here. So the larger the relative size of the pending orders, the wider the grayscale. Okay. Of that level. Everybody following? Press 2. 2 if you're following. So this is a liquidity zone, basically. So the larger the relative size of the pending order, which is here, there's a pending order here at this level. The larger the size of that there is at this pending order, then the wider the grayscale. The dynamic nature of the current order book is reflected in Bookmap by changing grayscale.
In other words, traders can gauge the variations of liquidity at each level based on the changes of grayscale representation at each level. Okay, so read it again. In other words, traders can gauge the variations of liquidity. Will it be a lot of liquidity, a little bit of liquidity at each level based on the changes of the grayscale representation of each level? Such changes are either the result of an increase or decrease in the number of pending orders at the price level, or changes in the relative size level compared to the entire visible book order. Okay. So such changes are either the result of an increase of this or a decrease in the number of pending orders at that price level, or changes in the relative size level compared to the entire book order. So when this changes, when this order changes, it changes the white color to black. So if it stays white, then that's how you know that there's a lot of liquidity at this zone. Okay. Everybody clear? Okay. The order book heat map is divided by a vertical moving or a static timeline. Everything left of the vertical timeline is the historical view of the order book and price action, while everything right of the vertical line represents the gray shade scaling the current. Okay. The last trade, the order book heat map is divided by vertical moving, blah, blah, blah. Okay, while the area of the right vertical line represents the gray shade scaling of the current order book. The last trade size is displayed as a color, okay, configured number on the right side of the vertical line at the relative price level. To choose between a moving timeline and a static timeline display, click the configuration above and check out and chart and check the static timeline and check the box at the lower part of the configuration window. Okay. Here. Okay. And you can show static timeline. You uncheck the static timeline. I don't know why it's not showing. Horizontal grid. Yeah, I want to take off that horizontal grid. It looks way better. Show vertical lines. Yeah. Show immediate column levels. Why is that extended? All right, whatever. You can check it and uncheck it. It looks hell of a lot clearer, I'll tell you that. Okay. This is E what? E mini. I like to personally look at gold. Okay. All right. Everybody following? The image below the historical changes in liquidity for NASDAQ futures. Note how the bright white areas of thick liquidity at 441, 2.5 and 441 change to dark gray just before 1439 and 1439 respectively. This clearly illustrates pending orders that were pulled away from the market at that price level. Conversely, the grayscale of white bands of heavy liquidity at 418 and 4165 remain unchanged, indicating stable liquidity. Okay. Lastly, the grayscale at 4142 around 1439 changes from black bright white, indicating that liquidity has been added to that level. Okay. So this is going to give you an example. That's kind of crazy that they do the times. So let's just go over that. The image below illustrates the historical changes in liquidity for NASDAQ futures.
Note how the bright white areas of thick liquidity at 4145.25 and 4144.50 changed to dark gray just before 1439. Okay, and 1439.23 respectively. This clearly illustrates pending orders that were pulled away from the market at that price level. Why were they pulled away? Because the bright white areas of thick liquidity changed to dark gray. Okay. Conversely, the grayscale of white bands of heavy liquidity at 4148 and 41460 remain unchanged, indicating stable liquidity. Lastly, the grayscale of 4142 around 1439.23, okay, changes from black to bright white, indicating that liquidity has been added to that price level. So we can see that. Ready? Stable liquidity. Okay, here we go. Stable liquidity. All right, why is it stable? I'm sorry, oops. Why is it stable? Okay. So they remain unchanged. That's why they're stable, because they remain unchanged at this level. Then you see liquidity pulled at this level because it turned white. At this level, it turned white. So this liquidity is stable because this didn't change, right? This is still the same. Stable liquidity. That's how we see price go down, because there's a stable liquidity of sellers here. The liquidity here got pulled. Why did it get pulled? Because look, note how bright the white areas of thick liquidity are at 415, and they changed to dark gray just before 439. Like that, and then with the wrong times. What the heck? They're whack. All right, anyway, stable liquidity. You see the liquidity pulled at this level. It got pulled here, okay? So that means they pulled away.
Did this screen go out? Did anybody else see that?
Scream it out. So the stable liquidity, right? So when we're selling here and the liquidity doesn't change, we can keep selling. The liquidity got pulled for whatever reason, whether it was buyers or sellers, the liquidity got pulled, right? So we can still see that liquidity is still stable, Now they added liquidity, right? Because look what it says. Lastly, the grayscale at 4142. Is it the same one? Are these guys like all on the right track? Am I tripping, or did they put the wrong image?
You looking at your book map?
No, I'm sorry. Right here. Right?
Wait, and Dimitri, I'm not trying to interrupt, but Derek, I know you had some questions. Did you address them with Dimitri yet? The emailed compliance? Derek? Okay, continue, Dimitri.
Yeah, I don't know why, but these price levels, 4146, like why is this not matching with here? Anyway, so we see liquidity was added to this level. Liquidity got added. Once liquidity is added, then we can see that, oh, okay, it's more sellers coming down. because now liquidity has been added to this picture, right? And as they say, lastly, the grayscale at 41412 changes from black bright to white, indicating that liquidity has been added. Because it was black bright, it was dark, and then it changed to white. So that means liquidity got added at this level, okay? Bookmap uses a candlestick view, which I don't even want to talk about that because I don't care about candlesticks right now as far as this goes. So Bookmap will assign a white or black color to any value above or below, which is not true because they updated it since then. And you can use red, you can use whatever color you want. Red is like the highest level of liquidity. You know, I mean, but you could use the grayscale if that's easier. Some people like the grayscale, it's better visual representation. So there's that. But it says Bookmap will assign white or black color to any value at or above or below the percentage tile selected by the user on the slider. Okay, if 95% is selected for the white cutoff, Bookmap will assign a white color to the top 5 sizes in the order book. If 5% is set for the black cutoff, book will, well, this is all irrelevant because Bookmap has updated that, so I should keep you updated on that as well. Heat map with Goosen filter. What is okay. So users can manipulate the time and price axis by the left click and moving the mouse cursor left or right, up or down. This action will either expand or contract the horizontal vertical axis of the chart to increase or decrease the visible time and price levels. Note that the manipulation of the vertical axis can be done by holding over the price axis on any chart, and the manipulation of the horizontal axis is done hovering over the time axis. Okay, so you can look at it from different perspectives. You can look at it from 5 to here. I'm gonna go over that. I want to make it simple. Let me go over these real quick. Why is much? Should have. That should have been the first thing you guys talked about. Yeah, here we go. Column showing volume profile, trade and counts. Okay. Format. Okay, COB. For the COB column, Bookmap displays at the top column a number that corresponds to the number of contracts represented by the full pixel width of the COB column. This should give users a reference number to gauge the contract sizes represented by different bars. An example, the max width of COB is 1,000. A bar that would have filled the entire width of the column would have represented a size contract of 1,000. Okay, so this is 1,800. It's 35. Choose between column types. You can, right click and you can see the column types. Okay. Users can set colors representing buyers and sellers, blah, blah, blah. We see that. For the COB, users can also aggregate and display extended levels. Aggregate display, instead of presenting the size of each individual price level, and each level represents the cumulative size of its own and the aggregate size of preceding levels. When choosing aggregate view, iceberg, large lot indicators will not be visible. Okay, so we can see here, right? The COB, the number of contracts that are here. Okay. So go back to where it was. I'm gonna let Derek ask some questions. Go ahead, Derek, before we end this off. So basically, this is the COB. This will show you the number of contracts in each and every single level, right? And this is the aggregate COB, so it shows you almost the overall, right, spectrum of like 203. There's 20. So it's basically like saying there's 27 sellers and then there's 210 contracts, 210 lots. So these give you these levels. Once you are trading at these levels or buying at these levels, you can exactly see where buyers and sellers are. You can see where sellers are selling, and buyers are buying. And these contract sizes will tell it all. So if you see somebody throw 1,000 contracts, then and that's taking up the whole entire bar, right? Then we know that okay, this is a very heavy level of where their contract's at, 1798 or 1796. Questions that you guys have? I know Derek has a quick question. My time is up.
Can you hear me, sir?
Derek, you can unmute your mic and ask your questions.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Regarding the VN strategy, is there a specific rule that's in place when you can identify the V? Is there certain rules in place to identify it as a definite V? Like, does the N have to be beforehand, or how does that work?
Okay. Not gonna lie, I thought you had a question about Bookmap, but that's fine. I could just dive into this really quickly. There is certain kind of V's that you need to have. Let me just solve. So a V like this, I don't know if you were on the class before, but a straight V, you want to have a V where you can spell Vicky and an N where you can spell Nancy.
Right.
Okay, so this is a V, this is a V, this is a current V because it happened in the middle of the trend. You usually like to find V's at the top of the trend, slightly at the bottom in consolidations. So V's at the top in consolidations, and then ends at the bottom. So ends for me would be something like here and then here. Is where I would get into an end. I wouldn't really want to get into an end after, depending on the time frame that I'm in. But I hope that gives you a clear perspective. Very simple. You know, V, regular N. Nothing too crazy. So I'm sure that you're doing it correctly.
Yes.
No need to worry. The end like this would be kind of sloppy, even though it did work out. Doesn't necessarily constitute as an end because both sides weren't met. Vicky, Nancy, right? And Nancy. No, sloppy. Okay. Okay. No end. Good trade, but this.
Perfect. Yeah, I see it. Is there a specific point, like when, okay, V has to come first, then N is immediately afterwards?
And it's not immediately afterwards. You can trade a straight up V and leave it at that. You can trade V's all day or N's all day.
Okay.
You just have to trade N to V and then V to N. So V to your first left. Let's just say this is perfect example. Let's just say this is the V, and then you're trying to trade it to the end of your first left. So let's just say this is my first left, right? This is my first left of the V, right? This is my entry, right? My sell limit is here. My take profit is here because it's V to the first N on your first left. Now, if there's no N, I take V down to here. So even if I enter for a sell and then it came back up here, my target is still going to be here. And vice versa is for the N. You know, let's say that trading N here, and then I want to take it to a V to my first left. Let's just say this is the V to my first left. Hypothetically speaking, I would take it to here. I hope that answers your question.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have another meeting that I have to
Did that answer your question?
Oh, yeah, it did.
Derek, I know you sent me an email. Okay, great. Does anyone else, Adriana, I know you're new. Do you have any questions?
No, I'm good.
I have a book.
Okay, Cameron, you have a question. Go ahead, Cameron.
Yeah, D, can you go over just how to get the get bookmark with the DX feed?
Oh yeah, a lot of people has been asking for that, Dimitri.
I can. That's going to take a very long time though, because it's extremely complicated. But I can refer you to a video that can help you do that, or maybe after class. You know, once I finish off my other meeting, we can go over that together.
Okay.
If you can refer to a video, it's gonna be awesome. I also need it.
Yeah, definitely. I can put it in the group and I'll refer it to you guys.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Sorry, I don't mean to like rush or anything. I know we're a little bit over time, but I appreciate all the questions, and I definitely look forward to helping you guys answer any questions. I don't want you guys to feel left out with anything. So just give me some time, and maybe after class, we can set something up and we can go over some things and go over the video together, and I can make sure everybody is set up. But I appreciate everyone for coming on the class, and
Or Monday, guys, or Monday. If he's not able because it goes in, because sometimes he's doing these meetings and it's like an hour and a half, and by that time he's burnt out. If not, maybe Monday. But I want you guys to keep in mind, and I know Cameron, you've been here for a while. So Dimitri, I think maybe if you don't get to it today, and if not Monday, because today's the last day of the.
No, I'll do it. I'll do it on my own.
Monday is the last day of the.
I'll do it on my own personal time. But like I said, I'm gonna get ready to head on another meeting. So thank you so much, guys, for hopping.
God bless you.
on.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Everyone.
I appreciate you. And
Bye, and see you guys Monday. See you guys on Monday.
Monday.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys once again.
Thank you.
All right. God bless you.